Alrighty, welcome to episode 6 of the Nerdy Lemons podcast, where we talk gaming, music, and culture. I am your host for today, RJ the Human, and today my brilliant co-host is AyoGDP. So, GDP, if you could give them an introduction, let them know a little bit more about you and what you're doing here.
Yo, how's it going? Name's GamesRay Prime. You can call me GDP. I guess I consider myself a variety gamer because I like playing action and fighting games. I am a content creator for Mecha Break, God Breakers, and yeah, so you can catch me here on Twitch/AODP, also on TikTok and YouTube, which I am growing as well. And yeah, RJ, thank you for having me.
Yeah, totally. No problem. And I'll just give myself a quick introduction. My name is RJ, again, RJ the Human. I pretty much play Apex and go with the vibes. There's a lot of things that happen on this channel, my Twitch channel. And one of those things is this podcast. So, to get us started for today, I kind of want to dive right in because we have some really good topics to talk about. The first one is Valve's announcement of Steam hardware. So they have quite a few pieces of hardware coming out, one of them being the Steam Machine, one of them the Steam Frame, which is a VR and non-VR gaming headset, as well as the Steam controller. So I wanted to start off and say, had you seen anything of the rumors or anything prior to the Steam hardware getting announced?
No, I have not. I actually learned about that like the day of when it was announced.
Same
Yeah, no,
here.
no idea. I was very, very surprised when I heard about that. I was like, this is interesting.
Yeah.
This is definitely something else. Yeah. I did do a little bit of research on it, and turns out that this is the first time they tried making a steam machine. It was like they made one, try to make one back in 2015 that I guess didn't really do too well.
Yeah, definitely. I think we won back in 2015. I think it needed more time. I think they were probably really excited about the product that they produced, but
Hmm.
it just needed more time to bake. And I feel like with the introduction of
Hmm.
their Steam decks, I feel like they got a lot of practice with how they wanted to build their PCs and how they wanted it to feel for the users. Because I think when you send out a
Right,
test product like that, like you don't really know how it's going to be received. And I think it
right,
was
right.
crazy ambitious to do, but
Yeah, definitely ahead
now
of its time, I would say.
for sure, absolutely.
Hmm.
And I feel like now they're better prepared to release something as big as PC hardware.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
with it being, I mean, there's so many things that are dropping. There's a controller, there's a PC, and there's a VR. I feel like the first thing that I'm really kind of wondering is why so many on a time? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's just because like they want to just put it all out there and just be like, we are a part of console, PC, everything. Like, we're just like,
I think that's pretty much it. I think they want to basically put their whole foot in there, basically start the empire, in the console game, and consider and
I
what
think that's
really.
huge.
Mhm. Oh, 100%. The thing that's I think is going to be the make or break is going to be the price of it, right? And the reason I'm saying this is because one, it's advertised to be 6 times as stronger than the Steam Deck, correct?
Yeah.
We already got all the stuff lined up. Now, what does that entail? Sure, we can play our Steam games, but I mean, are we able to still play, online for free? That's going to be a huge selling point. And
Yeah.
again, how much is it going to price going to be? Because especially right now with the RAM cards, thanks to Micron taking all their stuff to AI, companies and stuff. Thanks for that.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
definitely. I hear
So
you
that's
about the
really going to make or
price
break
for
it. Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Hmm.
Because, I think it's one of those things where I feel like Valve pours themselves into the products that they make, which is
Hmm.
amazing. But I think, especially with
Hmm.
those price increases, you don't want to price people out of the experience. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I know how Valve is, and I feel like what they're saying is a lot of what the interviews are saying is we want to make sure the obviously we want to make back what we're putting into it, but we want to make it
Right.
so that it's as close to what we're paying per parts as we can, which is amazing, but the price of parts is steadily increasing. And I would love to see more
Hmm.
people involved in gaming and, stuff like that. But
Hmm.
I just, I'm hesitant to be so excited about it because, one, I
Hmm.
already have a PC. And two, I'm
Right.
concerned about the nature of, how it's going to be in the
Mhm.
price field for sure.
Mhm. Mhm.
So one of the main thing I had a question was, I know you have a VR headset,
Uh-huh.
and they announced that the Steam frame is going to be more lightweight and more
Okay.
compact with no wires, no setup. You literally just get the adapter, plug and play.
Mhm.
Do you think that something like this would be something you would be interested in buying? And if you did, something that you would pick up more than your current VR headset?
Oh, easily. Easily, 100%. I still got the old, Oculus Quest 1 when it was, still out, so yeah, I got that heavy summer gun, and I would play more VR games, but I got a small space and a four-legged daughter around here who will sneak up on me without realizing. And, yeah, I played the Star Wars game too, so you yeah, if I'm sitting here trying to slash and stuff like that, yeah, she's gonna get the whack. I don't need that happening. But no, I would definitely be interested in that, and I think that would be a really cool thing to have. You know, if it's really a plug and play type system, it makes it very much easy to get into, right? And that's something that's really needed if you were trying to get somebody into, your console, your brand, and everything like that. Make it easy and accessible. So I think that'd be amazing. But again, my main focus is going to be the Steam machine itself, and I'm not saying that because of me personally, but because of people that I know. Like I got a little brother. He plays console games all the time, and I've gotten to where I play more PC games than I do console games. And so having that Steam machine, at least having him have that Steam machine, we can actually get together and play games and stuff like that. Kind of helps unify us, doing gaming like we used to. And again, if the service for it is free, we can still play free online. Man, I can shoot if I want to buy the games on the Steam machine, and in long terms save money because I'm not spending money on subscriptions anymore. Unless it's by choice. And again, I think it's be way more accessible for everybody. So I can just imagine playing Peak, my little brother. I could probably imagine playing Repo with them. Heck, even my wife and stuff too. If she ever wants to sit down and play a game, she can play right there in the living room where she's nice and comfortable. Now to be in here with me and my big old battle station right here.
Yeah, because I mean, that's an amazing point because the Steam machine itself is supposed to be, I think they said, yeah, it's a 6-inch cube. It's a tiny
hmm
six, and compared to the big,
hmm
gigantic PCs that they have,
hmm
that is so, I think visually and aesthetically, that is also going to be such a benefit for sure.
It is. It is. It's gonna look good, and you can customize the front too with little plate and stuff. That's cool.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I like that.
So I would definitely be interested in getting it, but again, it depends on the price point,
Yeah.
right? That's gonna be the main kicker for me. And if that price point's good, that might lead me to invest in other things. I will say though, that Steam controller ugly as all get out. I don't care what anybody says. That thing is hideous.
I don't like the
Mm-mm.
like how long it is. I feel like it's definitely giving me the vibes that it's more for like casual gamers because I think they
hmm
know like competitive gamers and like serious gamers, we're not using that.
Yeah, and then the touchpad being right here next to your palm, that's just throwing
Yeah.
me off like crazy. I'm like, "Ugh," like, I'm not trying to use that, but I'm
Yeah.
trying to like, I don't know how that's gonna work. I have to actually get my hands on it to actually see, but just from appearance alone, I'm not feeling that.
You know what I think? I think it definitely leaves room because they have the Steam Deck, just a regular degular for people that want a game on the go. They also have
Mhm,
the Steam Deck OLED for the people that care about the specs, the details,
mhm,
like the game's running a little bit smoother. So I'm kind of wondering
right.
if the initial goal is to try out with the controller, hear the complaints of the community, and then build a really great, if they're not already working on it, to build a
That'd be a good thing
really
to do.
great like pro or well, pros for iPhones, but like a pro
No, I know
type.
what you mean. No, there's pro controls for everything, so that's bound to happen
Yeah.
at some point. So no, but I think what you're saying would be a very interesting topic, interesting point.
Yeah. So I noticed Gallup. What up, Gallup? Another host of the Nerdy Lemons
Yeah, my
podcast.
guy, what's up, brother?
Couldn't be here today, but we appreciate you being in chat. So Gallup said, "What are the specs?" So as far as what we know now, there's going to be two storage options: 512, 1 terabyte, which seems pretty beefy for a pretty new PC. And they haven't given any details about the specifics about what are going to be the specifications because they're still working. I think some of the kinks out with a lot of that stuff. But they said the GPU and CPU are custom or semi-custom and you'll be able to run your 4K games at 60 FPS. So I think for
Mhm.
like, an announcement, I think that's pretty huge.
That's amazing.
we don't have any like specific details yet, but I'm really excited to see what this does
Mhm,
for the gaming community again. And just
mhm,
to because I picked up a Steam Deck. I ended up sending it back because I mean that's an
mm,
expensive piece of hardware. You know,
mhm, mhm,
I
mhm,
wanted to make sure if I
mhm,
was going to invest in it, like I was going to have the time to do it, and that's just a decision I had to make. But when I did have
mhm,
it, it felt quality, it felt smooth, and the experience itself, it it's suitable for gamers. It's suitable for serious,
mhm.
it's suitable for casuals. Like, I'm excited to see what they end up producing. And the fact that it's running on Steam OS, I think it's an interesting choice. But the fact that
Mm,
you can switch to Windows whenever you need to pretty much negates like if you just, oh, I'm just a serious gamer, I don't want to see Steam OS. You just click a button and you're
mhm.
already out of it. So
That's
it's
good to have.
interesting. It's
That is good to
interesting
have.
for sure. I think the main question, last question that I have about this is, do you feel like this kind of confirms what I believe it was the Take Two CEO,
Mhm,
the Take Two CEO said that he feels like, yes, consoles are still going to be obviously important and viable, but he feels
right.
like the industry is moving toward PCs in the next decade. Do you feel like this move
Easily.
kind of confirms that?
Easily,
Yeah.
easily, and it's only because one, accessibility, and two, just with the way how things have been, especially with PlayStation and Xbox. Yeah, it's definitely going to be moving on. I mean, Xbox already out the door. Xbox already out the door, and like, see you. Like, don't want to be you. You gone, right? We're going to call that like it is. Get the tombstone ready. Go ahead and chop that block in the. It's over with. Let me get that one picture with Grant Gustin at the tomb looking like this. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's gonna be Xbox. It's gonna be Xbox.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. I think there's so much competition for attention in general that I don't think
Mm-hmm.
it's possible to be solely focused on consoles at this time. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
we're fighting against like social media, we're fighting against gaming, we're fighting against being in real life. You have
Mm-hmm.
to provide something, I think, that can give multiple levels of value, and I think that's where PCs come in. You can game, you can
Right.
also work, you can work from home on it, you can communicate with friends. Like you can't really do all of that stuff on a console without like,
Right.
downloading a grip of apps or, breaking it
Right.
or like whatever, things that people do for their I don't know. I haven't used my console in since I've gotten my PC, actually. And I
Mm-hmm.
have a
Mm-hmm.
PS5. I just have not really felt the need to go back to it because everything that I need is on my PC. Editing,
Right.
social media, I can reach all of it from one device. So I think
Mm-hmm.
definitely he for sure has a point with, the nature of it moving to PC for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I will say PlayStation is still going to be here for long because the exclusives are top tier. All
Yeah,
right,
for
I'm
sure.
gonna say that. Look, cinematics, graphics, all that. Especially when you're trying to get a full PS exclusive game, which is going to be there first. Those who got PS5 keep the PS5s.
Yeah.
That's a hands down. What they need to do, just I know we talked about how the first Steam Deck was a Steam machine was ahead of its time, right?
Right.
So was the PS Vita. So was the PS Vita. All right. They need to bring it back. Bring us a real portable
Fair.
PlayStation, please. People have been begging for this. I'm telling you that is money in your pocket. Make it happen. We are ready. We are
Yeah.
ready. Bring back the PS Vita.
I'm not really sure why they're scared. Like with the wild, like PS Vita was like an icon, when it comes to like, cause I mean, we had Game
Mm-hmm.
Boys, we had all of that stuff. Those were iconic on their
Mm-hmm.
own right. PS Vita was
Mm-hmm.
really one of those first handhelds to kind of like bring a full experience in such a compact package that I wonder why
Exactly.
it feels like they're always so afraid to just like bring it back in its correct form. I don't know if it's like money or like what it is because
I
the
can't tell you.
what is it called now? The little whatever they have right now. It's like a PlayStation
The
Portable,
portable,
but you
yeah,
just
the
straight.
PlayStation Portable thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
at first it was a freaking remote play. Like, look,
Yeah.
honestly, I had a PlayStation Portable. I had a PlayStation Portable for a PlayStation Portable. Okay, it's right here. It's
Okay.
called remote play.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, right. It's
Yeah.
called remote play. Now they added the cloud streaming thing, which unless you have like top tier internet, still sucks.
It still
Right.
sucks. I
It still
I
sucks unless you have
understand the
top tier internet.
intention, but it still sucks.
Right. No, yeah. So they need to just make the hardware to where we can just actually have those games back.
Yeah.
Unless they're trying to make it more full digital, which games and companies are doing, trying to make things full digital.
Yeah.
So there is that aspect as well. But Yeah, I
And
don't
now
know
that
why
you
they should.
mentioned it, I know there's probably again, everything I feel like it probably comes back to, like, the dollar, but
Mhm,
this
mhm.
move to make everything so digital, I'm not gonna lie to you, it feels like it's watering down gaming. It
Oh,
really does.
100%.
There's no, like, presence in gaming. You know what I mean? And
Mhm,
it's weird because it's like it's not that many moments to do it in real life. I feel like gaming is like the perfect place to like, have these exclusive drops or like whatever the case is. It's
mhm,
like this move to digital, it just feels very
mhm.
like lame and empty. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like it just
right,
feels like I'm downloading games, but it's like I don't feel them the same way as when I like had to plug in a disc or I know it's like more of a hassle, but like
right.
just something like even we could have switched to game cards for console or something, even if it's like a cartridge. I don't
Mhm,
know. I didn't it's just
mhm.
I don't know, it's just weird. But either way, that'll move us on to our next topic, which is IGN's ranking of the top 10 battle royales. And I know
Mm.
for us in our community and this podcast, we have a lot of our games were in the top 6. So 10 was Totally Accurate Battlegrounds, 9 was Vampire the Masquerade, 8 Tetris 99,
Mm.
7 The Rocket
As
Blade Point
battle royale?
as a battle royale.
Huh,
6 Fall
okay, interesting.
Guys, 5 Battlefield Red Sec, 4 PUBG, 3 COD Warzone, 2 Fortnite, and number 1, my baby Apex Legends.
Fair, very valid.
Right? Right?
Mhm.
Okay, so first point that I wanted to get into was Tetris 99. Have you even played Tetris 99 yet?
I have not personally, no, but I have seen others play it.
Same here. I've actually never heard of it. I didn't even
But to
know.
classify that as a battle royale is interesting to
Okay,
me.
so basically their classification of battle royale was just any game where there were multiple players competing against each other in a over 60 person type format. Um
Okay.
they took out all the
How
ones
many
that
folks play that at once? Hold on, that's
okay,
interesting.
so they have like a visual, right? So there's your Tetris 99 right down the middle. Then there's like
Right.
99 other people's visuals like on your visual. It's kind of insane. It's kind of crazy to look at. I
What?
really should have brought up a picture in order to show, but it's pretty crazy to look. If you haven't seen it, please go look at that because it's insane. And then when you're playing, you can send bricks to your opponents
Oh,
to make their
I
games
see
harder.
now.
So it's a battle royale
Oh, that's
for
interesting.
sure. And
That's
it ended up
interesting.
on the 8th spot, which is kind of crazy. I think if I was Vampire the Masquerade, which I've never played or heard of, or Totally Accurate Battlegrounds, I would kind of be offended. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Mm, mm,
We got beat
mm.
out by a battle royale Tetris. We need to implement changes. We
Well,
need to
hey,
grow
people
our
still
game
love the old-fashioned game, so
for sure.
that the fact it's because it's a quote unquote battle royale and it still kind of works. I mean, I guess it worked. I mean,
Yeah.
it's impressive.
And apparently it's sweaty. I don't
I can see that. Like, well, you said
that
100 people? No,
yeah.
99 people to be exact.
That's what the community said. The
And
community said there's some Tetris sweats out there, supposedly.
yeah,
I
just be like,
don't.
who sent me that? Who's that? Was that
Yeah.
number 79? I'm on your ass.
I would be combo attacking number 79 for the rest of the day. I don't even care about my bricks anymore. They're all going to
So
number
you're knocked
79.
out. Who's next? 53. I see you. You're next.
I'm not even gonna lie to you.
That's
It's
actually funny.
crazy. That's
I gotta look into that now.
insane.
That's actually funny.
But okay, so 6 was Fall Guys. I love Fall
uh,
Guys. I haven't played it, to
right,
be honest, since we played it that one time. What
right.
was that, like a few months ago? But I
Is it?
like the chaos. I like the mini games. I like really the entire system that they've implemented for Fall Guys.
Mhm.
I Do you still play Fall Guys? Because I was gonna ask you, what do you think
Do
it
I still
is
play
that
Fall Guys?
has yeah.
No, no, I don't
Okay,
personally.
that's fair. But what do you think it is that keeps them on the map so much? Because Fall Guys has been out for a long time. Gallup said we need to run
Probably
Fall
because
Guys
it's
back. We
just
do.
it's honestly could be just casual fun.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's not. It's a. I know it's called battle royale, but there's no crazy championships or nothing like that for it. It's not esports sweaty. I
Yeah.
think it's what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Once you make things an esports sweaty, that's when things start getting really, really stupid and toxic. Which
okay,
is fine.
because they don't have a ranked, right?
I don't think so.
I
No,
I
no,
I,
no.
th-
And
I get what you're
even still,
saying.
like no tournaments or nothing either. So there's that.
That's true. That's true. Because you know what? Ultra, he could go pro in Fall Guys. I saw that gameplay. But
Fall
and
and
you as
you go
well.
pro in Fall Guys. Ultra?
You also could go pro Fall Guys.
No,
When I
my
jumped
little
into Fall
brother can go
Guys,
pro on Fall Guys. My little brother
okay,
can go pro on Fall Guys.
but when I jumped in, I was like, "Oh, we're just playing this for funsies," and you're, like, doing spins and jump I'm like, "Whoa, this is not this is not what I signed up for."
Yeah, the one game I got to be cracking, it was Fall Guys of all things. Go figure.
It's wild. Gallup said it's a great game to play with friends, and I think that's a
It
great
is
point. I
100%. That's 100% accurate. Yes.
The nature of gaming is definitely going toward having something that you can do with your friends, like
Mhm,
collabing and getting in on these games and having, just like a little quick party. I think definitely, and the colors, the chaos, I think all of that kind of combined makes it just really makes for a good time
mhm,
for sure.
mhm,
Um so then the next one was Call of Duty Warzone, Battlefield. We're kind of all in this like weird little like mosh pit of shooter battle
mhm,
royale. So it was Battlefield
mhm.
Red 6 at 5, PUBG, which is the
Okay.
OG of battle royales. If not for PUBG, I'm not sure how long it would have taken for us to get battle royales. But
Right.
PUBG, COD Warzone, Fortnite, and then Apex Legends. Do you
Mhm.
feel like that ranking system was fair? Because they gave a lot of different reasons for each why they felt like it deserved a
Okay.
spot.
I will say this. I do feel that Apex Legends being at the top was actually a good choice. Was actually a good choice. One is being here for forever, right? It's something that people can actually understand and get into. Nothing crazy, no pay to win stuff that's been happening or anything like that. Because with Call of Duty and everything like that, you got to pay to win guns, all that nonsense. And I heard that Battlefield RedSec isn't that great.
Yeah.
With the battle royale, it's not that hot. I haven't played it personally
Okay.
myself, but based on what I'm noticing, it's not good. We got a chat message from Gallup saying that Call of Duty Warzone is better than Battlefield 6, and that
Mm.
it's a mess. And that's coming from a guy who plays shooters,
Yeah. And a
right?
Battlefield
That's
fan.
exactly Battlefield and Call of Duty fan. Yes, so yeah, I would go with his opinion on that one. But even then, still, it's just like you got to deal with all those things. With Apex, you didn't have to deal with that. The only thing you paid for were those cosmetics and maybe an heirloom, but nothing. There was nothing that gave you an advantage in game, right?
Definitely.
So I do feel that battle royale is the most fair. So I would agree with that. I'm surprised. What did you say Fortnite was at? Because I'm surprised Fortnite's not there. I didn't
At
think I heard Fortnite
Fortnite was at number 2. So directly
too. Okay,
below
that makes sense. That
Apex,
makes sense.
not
Yeah, yeah,
is
yeah.
yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Totally. I
Hmm.
feel like Fortnite is one of those things where it's like it's such a good game. Like I me personally, I love me some Apex. I feel like it's one of the more consistent shooters that I've ever played in
Hmm.
my life. Every time I get on
Hmm.
that game, it feels like home. It feels like I know exactly what's going on. I will say the barrier to learning movement and learning, some of those beginner things is a little
Hmm.
difficult. It's a little difficult.
Yeah, it's to be
But
expected.
you know what I mean? Like it's a competitive shooter and I feel like it fits that title. Like everything that Apex does, I feel like it's consistent with it saying we are a competitive shooter. They take seriously the guns that they work in. They take seriously each event that they have and each character update to make sure that there's balance. Even when the community is like, "Oh, this is unbalanced. We don't like this." The devs hear that and they take it and they make adjustments. I think it's one of the more well-rounded competitive shooters, almost like back when Call of Duty was, like, really big. It feels like that, but better, like, more thought out. There's
I can agree to
skill
that.
caps and people can do all these things, but
Hmm.
if you work at it, you really like, you have control over how well that you do just by your skills, your aim, et cetera, et cetera. So, I
Hmm.
definitely agree with Apex being up there, but I understand why Fortnite is so much higher than everything else because strictly their catalog. I mean, they
Yep.
have expanded in a way that I've never seen any video game,
Agreed. I
any serious
100% agree. I
any
will say
serious
that
one.
100%.
Like
Hmm.
they have I mean, there's Roblox type games inside of
Hmm.
Fortnite. It's
Hmm.
insane what they've done.
Hmm.
Gallup said Apex beats these out by a long shot. Pun intended. It's a wild pun. But and that's why they put
Nice.
it at number 1. So, I yeah, I personally I don't have any issues with this list. I think it was very fair. And
Very rare IGNW. Very rare.
yeah, that's fair because IGN's been they've been wavy. They've been a little wavy. Some of the
Wavy. They've been down. They've been downhill under the ground, under the gutter.
forum,
Don't
just
don't
saying,
don't don't don't, don't
on
let
the
me get the
bottom of
glasses.
the
Don't
wave.
let me get the glasses. Don't let me get the glasses.
Okay. I don't know. Is that a conversation we need to have? Because
No, it's not. It's not.
they've
Mm-mm.
I feel like IGN has so much more potential than what they put out. I'm just gonna say that. Their videos, like for I would say maybe like a year ago, it just felt like it felt empty. That's gonna be the word of the day for the
Mhm,
podcast, I guess. But it felt
mhm,
so empty. And within the last few months-ish, I've kind of seen them like pick it up and kind of put a little more passion into it. But it was like a skeleton of who IGN used to be. It was like
mhm,
insane. So I'm glad that they're kind of picking it up. But yeah,
mhm. Oh, we got a message from Gallup saying he said, "Wait till I come back for that convo. He's got smoke for
that's fair.
IGN."
That's
Hey,
fair.
brother, here are your glasses, good sir. You can have them. Here you
He want the
go.
smoke for real. Okay. So now we're gonna move on to the third topic. And I'm gonna go ahead and take over this one. Ludacris drops his new single 44 bars. So there was really no introduction for this. Like we had really no idea he was gonna drop anything. And he took to Instagram, I think it was like a day or two before, and said, I just feel inspired. I just felt so inspired and I just dropped it. And 44 bars is actually not just the title of the song. When you do the count, 44 bars is the exact amount of bars that he sat there and spit. It's an absolute flex of Ludacris's lyrical ability. I you have to listen to the song. I'm not able to play it here, but you have to listen to the song because I think it's been a while since we've heard from Ludacris, and the amount of bars that I heard in the song. Let me list a couple. Right, stop the bull. Your nose growing bigger than Scottie Pippen's, and I'm like,
Mm,
Scottie Pippen, where is he catching a stray? They got beef. You know what I mean? It's a cold, cold world, but as hustlers, just keep it heated. Told mumble rappers to step up, but I swear they paraplegic. Hello?
I heard that one. I was like, oh, wait a minute now. Hold on.
I don't know who pissed Luda off. I don't know what the reason was for it, but I'm glad that they did so we could get these bars, okay?
Mhm.
Because I
Put
feel
it in a
like
rap beef, man.
you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like if we're being honest, mumble rappers have not stepped up when it comes to lyricism. I think in the
Uh,
back of my head, mumble rap is like an easy way out of not
it is.
having lyrics in the raps. You know what I mean?
Mhm,
Like it just
mhm,
it's kind of like you're trying to cover up the fact that you really don't have no lyrics, so you just kind of like, oh no,
mhm,
no, 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 which is cool,
mhm,
it's fun, it's its own category. But I feel like to put it in the same category as rap, as hip hop, is kind of like it's kind of it's kind of a
like
ding to hip hop
it is.
itself,
Like there's a difference between singing and yelling.
for
That's
sure.
a good way to put it.
For sure. And I think like I like that he kind of called that out because I, you know what, I know like for like the OGs, like everybody wants them to just kind of like, oh, just sit back, like let the new generation take over, yada yada yada. But I like when they can come out and say, I don't think y'all doing enough for real. And
Mhm,
personally, I feel like that's most of what Luda did. Like throw your album
mhm,
in the trash or the garbage disposal. Either one.
mhm.
Pretty much said either one. Is Luda the mogul, the Bentley is local, the jet is global. Fly away like Lenny
Mhm,
Kravitz, gone never to be seen. I took both your women's legs and everything in between. Like, that's
mm,
lyricism. That's what it means to be a lyricist. To take something random and then tie it down to a next part, do a little flex in the middle, and then turn up for a bit. You know what I mean? Like,
mhm,
it's got a lot. And for him to be so out of the game for such a long time, it was really exciting to see him just kind of just like go at it full force, not give up, and just kind of like just take chances. You know what I mean? Like, is it the most perfect
mhm,
set of bars? Is it the most lyrical set of bars? I feel like I liked it. Probably not. But I love that
mhm,
he took chances and didn't overthink it. Just kind of like just let it rip. And I really wonder because I think a couple of episodes ago we talked about how Joe Budden brought up he doesn't like hearing Ludacris on R&B songs. I kind of wonder if this is a response to that specific call out. And I think a lot of
Ooh,
times
good point. That's a good point.
when we have like these new, artists, like there's so many new artists, we kind of forget about like the impact that people have. And I feel like Luda was just kind of coming back and saying like, please don't forget about my impact. Please don't forget about my raps. Like I'm really that guy when it comes to lyricism. Don't do me like.
Mhm.
And one of the other lyrics that I thought was really interesting was 10 albums ain't nobody ever wrote for me, which
Mm.
is a
So no
bar.
ghostwriters. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's a bar on its own just to say like, a lot of people present themselves as these like, really, really passionate artists and they're passionate about their craft and they hire ghostwriters. Like to be able to say that you had 10 albums that you did all on your own and nobody even pitched in for them. Like there's something for sure to be said about like you can trust that what the music I'm putting out is authentic to me. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it just I think overall, I love it. I love that he dropped this. I love that he kind of made a comeback. I love that it was like not this big wide announcement and he just was like, I'm feeling like I want to drop music. I'm going to drop music. Cuz it kind of brings
Mhm.
back like, that total like music vibe. Like just being about the art as opposed to being about like, oh yeah, I got to have a schedule and I got to like do this and I got to do that. No, you don't have to do any of that. You have to drop music when you feel inspired and you have to drop good music and you can't be lazy. You can't tell other people to write it for you and just claim it. Like you have to do the work. So I don't know. I think overall it was a net positive to have him drop this, and I hope that he puts out some more because it's a beat.
Mhm.
It's lit. But yeah, so that will take us to our 5-minute break. We are going to go ahead, get some water, get some snacks. I hope that you all do the same. And we will see you back here in 5 minutes. It's GDP, Ayo GDP. And
Yeah.
we are really just going to jump right back in with our next topic, which is Drake. Drake got announced as Apple Music's 2025 most streamed artist of the year, much to a lot of people's confusion, probably.
Hmm.
Because, I mean, we can get into all that later, but it's really
Mhm.
interesting because he did not drop Drake. Yeah. What up, B Watts? Welcome in.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
he didn't drop a solo album this last year. The only thing we had
Mhm.
from him was the collaboration that he did with Party Next Door. Um, and it was like just a few songs that he dropped in February, but the last
Mhm.
like full album that we've had from him is For All of the Dogs. So I thought it was really interesting that he's been able to kind of coast along this entire like beef situation and just kind of continue, maintain, and somehow become 2025's most streamed artist. Now, it's it's one of it's one of those things where it's like for Apple Music, I think it's just the music that's playing. It's not a reflection of like the culture or what people feel about Drake. It's just the fact that he's
Mhm.
still been able to maintain a steady listener base compared to all of these other artists. And I think
Right.
one of the hard things when it comes to Drake is it's one, he's built this crazy large catalog.
Mhm.
Two, the catalog itself is viable for lots of different types of vibes. He's built a
Mhm.
pop catalog, he's built almost R&B. I don't know if I can call it R&B, but almost R&B. He built some
Mhm.
hip hop. And whether or not we like him as a person, to say that he is 2025's most streamed artist says something about the music that he's making. Now, me
Mhm.
personally, once the whole beef started, I felt like his legacy is now saturated with that beef. That's
Mhm.
kind of how it felt for me. Every time I hear Drake, I feel about the beef. And I think that's one of
Mhm.
the really unfortunate things, but that beef itself hasn't saturated apparently his musical legacy, which I find really
Mhm.
interesting because his diehard fan base is still his diehard fan base. And if it were
Mhm.
just his diehard fan base, we wouldn't have him as the most streamed artist of 2025.
Mhm.
Something outside of that fan base is still going because at the end of the day, there's still Spotify playlists that he's on. You know,
Yeah.
he's still he's still around the music scene. Like him getting shut down as a person hasn't changed the fact that he's still around in the music scene. I just think it's really interesting that this whole big thing happens and, he still drops songs like Nokia, Somebody Loves Me, Die Trying, and people still tap in because I've been
Mhm.
back and forth about it. Like ever since the beef, it's
Mhm.
like ethically, you know what I mean? Like almost ethically speaking,
Right.
I don't
Right.
know if I can support the music that he puts out. So I try my absolute hardest not to go and select a Drake song. But again,
Mhm.
if he's in a playlist and I'm like cleaning up, doing the dishes or something, he's gonna come on the playlist. There's nothing really to be said about that. Like he's going
Uh-huh.
to get played because he still technically matters in music, which
Uh-huh.
I think it's pretty interesting to be honest.
Mhm.
I don't know. Do you listen to Drake? Have you ever listened to Drake?
Yeah, I used to listen to Drake. I used to
Okay.
listen to Drake, growing up like like everybody else and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, recently, no.
Fair enough.
But that again, that's just a personal thing. Now, again, and with that being said, if music, stands test of time. So there is that. And if something puts you in the mood, you still 9 out of 10 people are still going to play that music, right?
Yeah.
And you see, he has like you say, he has a lot of music, especially what he used to make back in the day, that still fits the vibes and with everything going on in people's lives. We got a comment from Gallup saying people disconnected from the culture still playing his music, and that's a lot of people. And also, as you say, a lot of it can still be background music too.
Yeah.
And and another thing that I'm finding interesting is that you're saying that he's the most streamed on Apple Music, right?
Yeah.
That could literally mean that just again either having playing background music, it doesn't matter when it came out or anything like that. It's just streamed music, right? There's no credential saying it had to be played, it had to be made this year or anything like that.
Yeah.
And again, it is just Apple Music too, so it's just one platform.
Yeah.
It's just one platform. And although they had this whole huge beef and everything, numbers are numbers. If the numbers add up to that, then there you go.
Yeah. And I think that's a good point because it's Apple Music. I don't know about Spotify. I haven't looked into what they
Right.
announced, but for Apple Music specifically, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't use it anymore because they're like, how when you pick a song and you say, I want to hear more songs like this,
Mm,
their system for deciding what song comes next is absolutely horrid. I am not interested in the way that they go and select music. You'll go from hearing like, I don't know, 90s Chris Brown, like not 90s Chris Brown, 90s and Chris
mm,
Brown, yo, to all of a sudden, "Nda, nda, nda, nda," like, whoa, chill out, chill out, chill out. Like you just turn me like I'm in a chill 90s love vibe and you just sent me to the club. Like their system is absolutely horrible for how we're gonna go
mm,
about listening to music any further. But I do
mm,
also wonder specifically with that being said, like Apple Music, I feel like they're probably just going off of like what is usual. What do people usually want to hear? And I think like
mm,
before this whole like beef thing started, Drake was king of the hill. You know what I mean? When it came
mm,
to music, just a wide genre of it. I
mm.
kind of wonder, are they just writing off of people normally want to listen to Drake? So when they ask for us to play similar songs, we're gonna play Drake. Because back in
Mhm.
2023, people were always asking for Drake and they don't turn. So
Well, it could be
we
that, and
play it.
also we don't know what's going on in the background itself. They could be using that, the beef situation to their advantage, going like, okay, well, since they had this whole beef and stuff, Drake is now on people's minds and everything,
Mm,
right? So let's play some of his music while it's still on the mind, and let's just milk that cow dry. Let's keep it going until it stops, right? And
that's
also
true.
too, we don't know how much if Drake is possibly paying Apple to either stream his music more or something like that. There is promotion that goes in there as well. So again, we cannot say what goes on in the background of these things, but we do know this: companies are going to go where the money's at.
Yeah, for sure. And it's apparent. I mean, you look at his like concerts. I don't
Hmm.
know if they're still getting sold out. They're still packed. His concerts are
Oh yeah.
still packed the same way as before the beef. Yeah, he may have lost
Hmm.
like fans like me, right? Who just like
Hmm.
for ethical reasons maybe like like if I had the
Right.
choice, I'm changing it. But
Hmm.
the people again, like Gallup said, who are disconnected from the culture, what
Mhm.
reason do they have to tap out of it?
Right.
What reason do they have to skip? And I
And
think
and
no, go for
I'm
it,
sorry, go
yeah.
ahead. I was gonna say the main thing, as you keep saying, is when it comes to ethics, ethics doesn't mean nothing in the industry anymore,
That's a
right?
good
There
point.
is ethics is dead. It don't make money. Ethics don't make money no more, and people are just don't care. You know, someone could literally murder somebody and still play their music,
Yeah, that's true.
and
That's
it's a
true.
shame, especially when they used to make good music.
That's
It's a
true.
shame.
And this isn't technically related, but it's also a question of when we talk about, oh, Chris Brown and Rihanna or Offset and Cardi, like all these really
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
traumatic things that happened in the news
Mhm.
doesn't really affect the music. You know what I mean? Either
Nope.
way, because people were also like, oh, well, did Rihanna
Mhm.
she still turned up? Like for any reason, all of these little like things that happen in the real life, they don't really affect the music. Gallup said, RJ, how you
Right.
feeling right now? We know you love Drake. You know what? What's the line that Kanye I used to
Uh-oh.
love Kanye? It's the same for Drake. I used to
Uh-oh.
love Drake. Drake's music. I don't know about him as a person. I really don't. I don't know. Now I know, but like as in previous, I didn't really pay much attention to who he was as a person. I saw him on Degrassi, then I saw he was making music, and the music was chill. The presentation from what was that? Comeback season or the one with the little like it had like autumn leaves or whatever. That's what put me on to him as an artist. And I said, the vibe is chill. I'm with that. There's not a lot of rappers who have like a chill vibe. I'm with that. It's something that I can play while I'm washing the dishes. I know that's something, it's not fun to say, but sometimes being able to just play music that has like nothing connected to it almost. It's just like a good time, a fun time. He's just talking his and there's not really any depth to it.
Mhm.
Sometimes I will say that works.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how to feel about it. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know how to feel about listening to music that doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? Cuz it's like
Mhm. I agree. I agree.
it's in this really weird space where I feel like I'm trying to cling to the things that mean something. And the moment I
Right.
find out that the music that's being made doesn't mean anything, because obviously, like the lyrics, they should have told me, yeah, this doesn't mean anything. But once the whole beef happened, it's like I couldn't look past what I was seeing. I couldn't look past, like,
Mhm.
the fact that I see these bars that he has on these songs that I like. I like those bars, they're fine.
Mhm.
Not seeing him being able to compete in, like, the realm of, like, a rap beef that he started, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, like,
Mhm.
it's really framed the way that I think about the music that I'm hearing from him, and it doesn't have,
Mhm.
for me, the same impact that I did before any of this even started, which is why, as a previous fan, I was pissed. I was pissed that he even started the
Mhm.
beef because why mar your legacy? Why take chances? Why take a risk with somebody who's going to beat you? And there's like no question. This is not subjective. This is now objective. In that beef,
Mhm.
he lost.
Mhm.
Granted, Kendrick was my number 1, Drake was my number 2, and that might be, oh, well, your opinion is skewed. Yeah. There's a reason Kendrick was my number 1 and Drake was my number 2. Like, I knew he was gonna
Mhm.
lose. Like,
Mhm.
I don't ethics, I'm blasting Breezy in the house 24/7.
With all due
So
respect to Riri, that's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
so now we see how that applies to stuff like, a beef between 2 men we all don't know, not affecting the musical numbers. At the end of the day, the music is the music. And
Mhm.
as we see, like ethics may or may not play a part. Like,
It's really depends on the person. It depends on the person. Can you separate the music from from the artist? That's up to you.
yeah,
And that's a
definitely.
personal thing, and you are valid in any way you feel about it.
That's so fair. Cause I think with, it's just interesting that we can bring up so many different cases of crazy things that have happened within hip hop and R&B.
Mhm.
But the one that I'm gonna
Mhm.
bring up is R. Kelly. The next one I'm
Mm.
gonna bring up is Diddy. Like the fact that like
Mm.
these big, huge powerhouses continue to get into all of these scandals. I'm like, can you just make the music and just try your best? Try your best to just like stay out of the limelight for any ridiculous reason. Because it's like, step in the name of love. I'm not, I'm standing. I'm standing in the name of hate. I am upset that we are even playing this at this wonderful event, families, children laughing, having a great time. And now we're
Mhm.
playing something where I have to feel emotional turmoil. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's really the double whammy. Yeah, it's wild. I think that, this is something we continuously have to keep talking about, but I think it's a problem of like many different proportions that I'm not going to get into on this podcast, but it was just interesting to see. So, with that
Mhm.
being said, we are going to move on to our final topic. But before we move on to that final topic, I just wanted to say shout out to GDP who has pulled up to this podcast. I don't think that you have missed an episode. And I just wanted to highlight that and really say that you are so appreciated. And I'm happy to have you here. Please follow AyoGDP, I believe, on all socials. I believe it's AyoGDP.
Mhm.
Um, and he is on TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram,
Twitter. Twitter.
Twitter. See, I'm not as
Yeah, I need to
active
get
on
back on.
Twitter.
I need to get back on Instagram. I need to get back on Instagram. I
Instagram's
need
hard for
to.
me.
I keep saying I'm going to. I need to. I got videos and stuff
It's
locked in.
I feel like that's fair. Instagram is hard for me. I don't know. It's really slow. It's really it doesn't have enough going on, for
If it
my
ain't, if what I've noticed when it comes to social media, if it ain't about drama, it ain't really gonna go anywhere unless it's like a unicorn. But that's a
yeah.
conversation for another time.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But yeah, I just wanted to give that quick shout out. I really we
Well, I appreciate
as a
that, and again, as
podcast, you
always,
are appreciated for sure.
well,
But
thank you. I appreciate that.
definitely. So that'll lead us into our last topic. TikTok Live surpasses Twitch for most live stream hours watched. And it wasn't even by like a little bit. Like it
Hmm. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Twitch was at 16% when it came to concurrent viewers, and TikTok was at 27%. Correct?
yeah. So TikTok
Hmm.
Live clocked a 8 billion hours watched.
Hmm.
Twitch instead had 4.85 billion hours watched.
Right.
TikTok being 27% of global live stream watch hours and Twitch being 16.3% of that watch hours,
Hmm.
which is really
Hmm.
interesting because TikTok is relatively new. Twitch has been around for a really long time under different names and all of this stuff. And they've been, I would say, charging ahead. I think they mapped like an extra 9 million streamers this year, which is huge
Hmm.
for the streaming
Hmm.
game itself. But
Hmm.
TikTok rose to 9.2 billion hours watched, capturing 31.2% of live stream watch time. And that's including YouTube, Twitch, like
Hmm.
all of them, which is
Hmm.
really interesting because Twitch's watch hours, on the other hand, dropped 4.6 billion from Q3.
Hmm.
So I feel like what we're seeing is kind of like a vertical streaming is king type move when it
Hmm.
comes to streaming. Would you
Hmm.
say that would you say that you feel like vertical streaming is possibly the future of streaming?
To say it's the future of streaming is a long shot. I can definitely say it's on a run right now, 100%. And another thing, when it comes to Twitch being at the lower end, I can see that happening only because of discoverability. It's trash. It is trash. Twitch's discoverability is absolute dog water. Right now on TikTok, you can literally try things and people will still be there, whether they be swiping, whether they just actually just pull up, be like, oh, this is cool and everything like that, right? And there's way more variety on TikTok as well. And I'm saying that from my own personal experience, right?
Yeah.
I could probably play one game. I could probably play a game on a random game out of nowhere on Twitch and literally get nobody. But on TikTok, I can have a good few extra people because that's something that people do look forward to. While Twitch just focus on the main popular things all the time, TikTok, you're allowed to try new things and be more creative. And of course, like I said, while people swiping and they catch that catches people's eyes quicker than it would on Twitch,
Yeah.
right? Because that gets thrown into the algorithm. Twitch
Yeah.
doesn't do that. Twitch does
Yeah.
not do that. And another thing, ads. You know, Freaking the freaking ads will cut somebody out of it, no problem. YouTube verticals doesn't do that. TikTok doesn't do that.
True.
Right? And it's not like you have to sit here and pay for subscriptions and stuff. I've noticed on TikTok, you can literally send, if you have just a few coins to spare, literally, you can send TikTok coins for a few
Yeah.
cents and you can still, in a way, contribute. And that does help out in the long run, too. You don't
Yeah.
have to sit here and wait to be in no crazy affiliate program or anything like that to start, like, even earning on TikTok, honestly.
Yeah.
And so, no, I definitely see that. Now, YouTube is going to be on the top end of it regardless because it's YouTube. You know, because why?
Understandable.
Now, because why? It's already in the VODs, right? It's already gonna be a VOD and edit some things like that, and their discoverability is way better too. So Twitch really needs to work on their discoverability on a lot of things, and that's honestly the main thing. Truthfully, I think if Twitch would just work on that, I think things would be a lot better, and also not focus on a bunch of the IRL drama nonsense, and also forcing people to cringe and make very, very crummy jokes at streaming awards, but we're not gonna talk about that right now.
Oh my gosh. For the 28th, the topic for the 28th.
Ooh.
Goodness gracious. But I definitely would agree. When it comes to
Hey,
like,
is my eye twitching on the camera?
it was so bad. It was so
I'm sorry.
bad.
My eye was twitching so bad. Oh my goodness.
Like
That's how you know that's how
so
you know I'm
bad.
aggravated. I'm aggravated with something.
It was ridiculous. I really quickly, like, we could talk about
I,
like
I saw a few clips and I watched the video and stuff, and I bet look, my main my I'm just gonna be like,
it's
I'm gonna do
it's
this real quick. What I'm about to do is about to sum up everything. All right, nigga, what the? Let me stop.
the whole I saw so I considered watching Streamer Awards, and I'll talk about it really quickly, but
Mm-hmm.
I considered
Mm-hmm.
watching it. I saw one clip, and that told me everything I needed to see. I won't be watching. I will not
Mm-hmm.
be spending however long it is. I don't even know. It could be 30 minutes. I'm not spending 30 minutes of my time watching whatever that was. Absolutely not.
It was terrible, and it was cringy. It was terrible. It just felt like a constant shot fire to everybody. You know, it was terrible.
Gallup
We got
said India Love went
yeah.
up there on some what? Why was I know she's a streamer. I get it.
Oh,
I get it.
mm-hmm.
But what the what?
She was trying to be Kanye. She was trying to have a Kanye moment,
It's
and it
concerning.
backfired.
It's
And it
concerning.
backfired. Mm-hmm.
I think with certain things like this, like we'll talk about it for sure more on the 28th, but I think I feel like companies and like businesses and everybody's like in a rush to make sure that they can get in on things when it's almost like the streamer awards themselves was clip farming. And I'm like, you're the
It
streamer
was. It
awards. Like,
was. It
what
was.
are you guys at? I don't even want to too much time giving it too much energy because we're gonna have to talk about it on the
Mm-hmm.
28th too. But
Mm-hmm.
insane. But I will say, I did watch that on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that
That's
clip
funny. That's actually funny.
on
That's
TikTok.
actually funny.
The following swipe was alive.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk
Mm-hmm.
about like recommendation and, the system that TikTok has set up in place, it's
Right.
obviously, visibility first. You know what I mean? And
Right.
kind of the same way
Right.
that you mentioned, like for Twitch, it's just kind of like they just kind of replicating the exact same things. Like, we know that this works, we know we can ship it, and we're
Mm-hmm.
just gonna do that. I feel like with
Mm-hmm.
TikTok, the reason it's grown so much is because it's almost like this like system of high risk, high reward.
Everything is new. Everything is new. You
Everything is
know.
new. Like, they're not afraid to take a chance on a small streamer. They're not
Right.
afraid to take a
Right.
chance with a new feature. They're not afraid to take a chance with, making it available where you can just drop a penny and support a streamer. Like, I've
Right.
never seen a platform take risks in the same way that TikTok does. And
Mm-hmm.
granted, YouTube, obviously we're not talking about them. We're not talking about them
Mm-hmm.
because they
Right.
started risk taking, if we're talking
Right.
about it. But
Mm-hmm.
in recent time, TikTok is one of the first to just kind of like say, you want to create something? Try it. Let's see what it does. Because a lot of time people talk
Mm-hmm.
about TikTok and like the algorithm, but it's really just like it's just the audience. Like, it's just the
Mm-hmm.
people who are coming across your videos. And if you're doing
Mm-hmm.
great work, People will come across your videos and say, "Wow, I love this. I'm gonna tap in with this. I'm gonna follow, I'm gonna like," whatever the
Mhm.
case is. And TikTok really gives chances to their creators to show, okay, I've grown in a way. So now I'm getting more people involved in my content. I've maybe struggled on this one, so maybe it wasn't good enough. Maybe it's not worth showing to more people. And it's
Mhm.
crazy because they're taking these chances and people are responding by giving them more time, more attention, more time
Mhm.
spent on that feed to find people that they're interested in. And I think it's really
Mhm.
good for like the future of content creation and creators to have that chance. It's not just, oh yeah, the same people, we're gonna show it all the time. It's whoever's putting the
Mhm.
work in, putting the hours in, we're gonna give you a chance. So
Mhm.
I think it's really interesting. But the reason I asked that question of do you think that this is the future is because TikTok live and vertical streaming has now become almost the standard. We're seeing YouTube
Mhm.
implement vertical streaming, Twitch is implementing vertical streaming. And yet we still see such a large reach when it comes to Kai Sanat, who just broke a record for the most streams and hit 1 million
Mhm.
subs. Or not most
Mhm.
streams, most subscribers. And he had 1 million
Mhm.
subs. So I just
Mhm.
like I think the main thing for me is like, yes, there is definitely a future when it comes to vertical streaming, but
Right.
is there a future where Twitch can make it so that all of these eyes that are on the Twitch platform can somehow be converted even when their biggest streamers aren't there? Because I think the problem for Twitch is it's like it's still a gaming first platform, but Kai Cenat doesn't even run the game.
I can't really say it is like a gaming first platform anymore, or it's not a. It might be gaming first, but it's not gaming priority.
Yeah,
I guess that makes better sense,
that makes
right?
sense. That
I
makes
think that'd
sense.
be the better way to say it because I'm telling you, just chatting stays up.
Yeah,
Just chatting stays up,
for sure.
and the connection thing here and there, cool. I mean, that's cool and stuff. But to say it's still just gaming first, I can't really say that anymore, or gaming priority. I can't really say that no more.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a point. I think they still are primarily, built under the foundation of like this is a gaming platform. Like when you look
Mhm.
through, platforms and things, people think of Twitch as the gaming platform that has
Mhm.
Kai Cenat. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
but they, to your point, have not prioritized people who are gaming. Like there's which
Right.
is like it's almost a positive, right? Because we have all these different types of people who are streaming, but it also means we have
Mhm.
all these different types of people who are streaming. So it's kind of like I think what's happening is like there's a trouble with like Twitch's identity, like who they want to be, right? Because we see the success
Mhm.
with not being a gaming only platform, right? TikTok Live,
Mhm.
YouTube, there is success there. But like
Mhm.
2019 Twitch was eating all of them up. So it's like I feel like they're struggling with like how do we go about in the future what we're going to be? What's going to be our legacy? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
feel like the numbers are showing it. People don't know what they're going to get. They don't know what to expect. They can't find I think the numbers speak for it. People want to find new people. I think
Mhm.
if I'm going to say it, it's kind of boring to watch the same people all the time. There's only but
I
so many
agree.
times I can watch the same streamer and be like, like aside from, people that,
Mhm.
like I'm
And
with it.
another thing I've kind of find
I don't get tired of y'all.
interesting,
Shouts out to y'all.
right? But no, I think another thing about that too is that you can in a way find people who relate to you as well. You know, because these bigger streamers on Twitch, they may say they relate to you, they don't. They
They don't.
don't. They
Yeah.
don't. Not even in the slightest. They just don't.
Yeah.
Right? They're in a place right now where they can't relate to us. Right. And at least with TikTok, you can still find somebody and be like, okay, you're kind of cool. I can see you in that, and actually watch them blow up. It's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
Just trying to do it now on Twitch nowadays, it's very, very hard to do so, especially if you're doing it by yourself.
Yeah. No, that's for
So,
sure. And Gallup said it feels like Twitch is dipping while YouTube and TikTok are trying
and
new
they are.
things. They are.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Yes,
They
they are.
the
100%.
the statistics are showing it, which is crazy because streaming itself has grown
Mm,
so
I can't.
much
Let's see. I
to
will say this.
see.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, no, no. I'm good.
Oh, I was gonna say about Gallup's next comment. Twitch still hasn't rolled out vertical streams after like 2 years. I
Mm.
can't agree with that because they do have some type of beta thing that some people are allowed to do.
And they
There's
have
one guy. There's one guy I'm gonna shout out. He goes by Big Cheese. I'm not sure if y'all
shout out to
know
Big
him, but
Cheese
check out
Crib.
Big Cheese.
Yeah.
Because he also does the horizontal and vertical streams on Twitch. So there
Yeah.
is something as if for it be like a main thing. No, it's not, but it is on the way. It is here on the way.
Yeah. Definitely. I think it's just again, I feel like what this all goes back to not taking enough risks because why in the world where vertical streaming is clearly the winner. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Hmm.
Clearly, why are you dragging your feet to kind of like get that rolled out? You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
is it something on the back end? Like maybe you're having trouble figuring out what the code is. I don't know what it is, but I feel like it speaks to, it when there's no action, you get left behind. And I feel like right
Hmm.
at this point in time, Twitch is starting to feel like it's getting left behind, which is really sad because they have like big huge partners behind them. They have the advertising. They
Hmm.
have what they need to kind of like excel in the streaming space. People always come to Twitch to start streaming. I don't know the numbers for people who exclusively TikTok live stream, but most people that
Hmm.
I've heard from multi-stream in some manner. Why
Right.
is it that they are like kind of like wasting it? You know what I mean? Like just
Uh
just
huh.
just kind of letting that
And it's
just
not
like
and it's not just that. It's also things that comes to other things as well. I know, like how we're talking about the controversy when it comes to the music artists and everything. Same thing applies to Twitch.
yeah.
We've seen controversies happen left and right with certain people, and we've seen how Twitch, quote unquote, handles it. And yeah, a lot of people don't agree with how they handle things. I mean, I could easily bring back up TwitchCon. I'm not going to,
And that would be
but
fair.
well, with things like that, do you really want to be associated with a company like that if that's the result that you're going to wind up dealing with?
That's fair.
It's kind of so that you got to put that into play as well.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a good point. I think this is where we talk about like, same thing I was saying for Drake, like marring the legacy. You know what I mean? Like I don't
Hmm.
understand why it's not possible for them to be like pinpoint focused on the things that bring the legacy. I mean, Twitch is a game changer. When they first started the
Hmm.
streaming type situation, they were the first
Hmm.
of their kind to start the
Hmm.
thing. Why are they not still? You know what I mean? Like, why isn't TikTok? Because I think when TikTok kind of first started the live streaming, it was like a funnel to Twitch. You
Hmm.
know, it was like, oh
Hmm.
yeah, I'm live on TikTok, but I'm also like, make sure to join my Twitch. Like, I feel
Hmm.
like more and more, I'm starting to see people just take that line out. Like, people aren't as much as usual solo saying, hey, follow me on Twitch, which Twitch is the more money. TikTok is giving more of the vibe. It kind of like reinforces what it means to be streaming. There's a sense of community
Hmm.
there. People come in, they
Hmm.
chat. They're coming from really many
Anywhere,
type of content
anywhere.
types, any type of places. Like
Hmm.
I feel really frustrated that Twitch is kind of like, ah, yeah, we're good with the ones that are 20,000 views.
Hmm.
Like we'll keep floating on that. Like you're losing your
Hmm.
footing. I feel like they're losing the small streamers, and that's gonna be what saves the platform.
Hmm.
That discoverability, if you can fix that, there's a reason for small streamers to stay, as we can see,
Hmm.
because small streamers are excelling on TikTok Live, getting thousands and
Hmm.
thousands of followers on TikTok Live. Had you have done that
Hmm.
for your platform, imagine the viewership you would have.
Hmm. I agree. I agree. I think only reason I think I'll probably still on Twitch, one because I do have the affiliate program, and two because I will say Twitch gets it with the emotes, right?
Yeah, I love
Now if
these.
YouTube starts letting us do custom emotes and stuff like
Yeah,
that, I'm good. I'm on it. I'm on it. I'm letting you know right now. Let me put my emotes on YouTube, bro. It's over with. That's all I
yeah.
gotta say.
No, that's
I'll be
fair.
full red, full red.
That's fair. Because that's another way, like, Twitch was like a game changer. It's like making this place where
Hmm.
people could be creative and kind of express themselves through like
Hmm.
emotes and all of that kind of stuff.
Twitch drops. I think is another thing too.
You
That's what it
know,
is.
like
Twitch.
why
Hmm.
why
Hey, we
is
started
Twitch
YouTube
dropping
drop,
in
started
numbers?
TikTok drop. I'm telling you, y'all. They start implementing those into YouTube and TikTok. Twitch is about to go straight downhill after that.
It's crazy. And Gallup said we need to talk about Moist Critical talking about making 45 million on YouTube. Because I've heard it's
Woo!
lucrative
What
on that
you
side.
say?
I
It
have
is it from
heard it
what
is
I'm hearing.
crazy
Yes, it is
lucrative.
much more lucrative on that side. What? Yes, yes, I've heard that. Why? Because here's a good question: how often do you go to Twitch to watch a VOD?
Why would I do that?
You know, exactly, exactly. On YouTube, you can. On YouTube, you will. On
Yeah.
YouTube, you go watch a VOD on YouTube. You ain't gonna watch it
Yeah.
on Twitch.
Yeah.
Shoo, that's easy. Jeez, that's easy money. Once you finally get up there, easy money.
Yeah. And I think
Mm-hmm.
like I feel like some point along the way, they've kind of like lost their way. Like I think they were trying to be creative and innovative before. And now it just
Mm-hmm.
feels like they're just trying to compete against, well, now TikTok as well, but compete against
Mm-hmm.
YouTube. And it's like, I just get
And they're
so
just still trying to keep.
frustrated.
And they're trying to keep who they have now because we still have some streamers that went to Kick because they had better deals and stuff like that. So they're also trying to keep who they have now, which is probably why they get a lot of leeway with their actions
For
and
sure.
stuff. So there is that as well. It's like they're like trying to hang on to the last few pillars that they have left before they finally collapse.
It's like, is there
And
something we don't
they're
know?
not handling it well.
Why are
They're
you
not
doing
handling it
that?
well. They're not handling it well. I'm pretty sure they're losing money left and right.
Then
And
do
then
something
people
different.
and you know what? That now I think about that, it might make some a lot more sense as to why the streamer wars the way they were, making all those cringy, terrible jokes because you can clip farm. That means people gonna want you to come in back into Twitch and stuff like that. But that's not the way to do it.
That's not
That's
how
not the way to do it.
that's
All
not what's
right.
gonna do it. It's not even good clip
It's
farming.
it's it's not. It was cringy. It
It's
was. Oh,
horrible.
I'm not even gonna get into. Like shoot.
And then, like, after she made, like, a joke about, like, Kai or whatever, and it was a horrid joke,
Ooh,
horrible joke, she's like,
ooh,
"Oh, well, I just thought because you was
ooh,
oh,
ooh.
you didn't even pick the
Hey,
good host."
which I will say this. Shout out to Talil because he did handle
Yeah,
it
yeah, that was lit.
in a better way than most people would. Right.
That was lit. I'm like, as a friend,
I respect that.
yeah,
I
100%.
respect that 100%.
That's how you speak up for your homies. That's how you speak up for your fam. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
and they say, "Oh, well, do you
Now what
wanna
India
make a
did.
joke?" No.
Uh
No, I do
huh.
not.
Right now, and the way how India Love did her thing, absolutely not. We
I didn't
understand
even
that. I know we feel how you feel because someone did win an award, but that is not for you to go up on stage and retaliate
oh
about.
my
Right,
gosh.
right. That's not something that you need to be doing.
I feel like I
But
don't even
again,
wanna
that's
know.
for another time. For another time, I don't want to keep talking into it.
If we're gonna talk
Whew.
about it, I'm gonna have to watch it, but just know I don't want to.
Yes.
I don't wanna be involved. 'Cause it's just like I just feel like it
Don't. I
does
won't
such
say
a
to
bad
watch it. Maybe
thing.
find like a video on YouTube that kind of summarizes it.
Okay,
If that
fair.
makes sense.
That's fair. And then support that creator. Shouts out to the, all creators. Okay. Cause
There
it's
you
just
go.
like I don't like the idea of something like that just strictly because like
Hmm.
streaming is already hard enough on its own. There's
Hmm.
already these like perceptions tied to streaming and what it means to be a streamer.
Hmm.
The last thing we need is some corny streamers making it so more people be like, "Ah, I don't give a about streaming." Like it's just
Right, right.
it's
Trying to be
just
the next reality TV show. Like,
and
no,
just not
that's
doing
not
it
what we need.
well.
That's not what we need. You know.
At least if it was good, at least if the jokes were good, it's like, "Oh, we got a new Chris Rock on our hands." We got a new
Yeah,
like did
I
y'all
love it.
audition these people? That's the real Did they audition them or did they just say, "Oh, you have
I
30,000
think I
followers?"
don't know. I don't watch the
Hmm.
nonsense. So you asking the wrong person.
Lord have mercy. It was just whatever from
Ooh,
that one clip, I could
oof,
tell it was a hot mess. I'm just gonna say that.
oof. Hmm.
It was a hot
And then
mess.
then Kai's reaction was really spot on. Just
I'd love that he
anyway,
didn't even feed
he's like,
into
I'm
it.
not even going to acknowledge it. Like, anyway,
Like, all right, we know that's weak.
he's like, really, really, really.
We know that was lame. Who are you? Anyway.
All right, let's save it for next time. Seriously.
All right. So that will conclude this episode of Nerdy Lemons podcast. Again, shout out to GDP for being on this episode and being here, giving opinions. Please make sure to follow AyoGDP on all platforms where you can catch your favorite content creators. I am RJ the Human, and I am also on all platforms. Feel free to come back no, December
Month.
the 28th, same time, same place,
Oh yeah.
and we will be doing a end of the year wrap up where we will discuss. upcoming games, favorite games of the year, and much, much more. But yeah,
Mhm.
I anything to say before we wrap up the podcast? Because I'm
Not much to
satisfied.
say. Yeah, me too. The only thing I'm gonna say is just thank you for having me as always. We appreciate you,
Absolutely.
setting this up for us to, come together and talk and discuss things that's not just gaming. We actually can sit down and like have these in-depth conversations. So I do appreciate this opportunity.
Absolutely. I'm thankful that you guys always pull up. So again, feel free to follow the two of us as well as Nerdy Lemons, who is also on any and all socials. And we will see you guys on the 28th at 2 p.m. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.
Catch you guys later.